So, hi everybody, welcome to the Secret Diary of Marie Jenkins 47 Plus podcast. And today we've got fantastic Nikki Sinclair. Hi Nikki.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And you?
How are you feeling about doing this podcast today? Is it your first one?
It is. So excited and nervous all at the same time.
I'm sure you'll be fantastic, and I'm really excited to find out more about what you do because I've already signed up for my first class on Tuesday, so it'd be good to know what I've let myself in for.
You'll be fine.
Right, so for the purpose of our listeners, can you tell me a bit more about who you are and what is it you do?
Okay, so I'm Nikki Sinclair, and my business is called Red Eagle Martial Arts, and I offer traditional karate classes and also a class called Bonsai Chi. So I've been practicing karate for over 25 years now, and it's a traditional style called Wado-ryu. So it's a Japanese karate style. And it translates into way of peace or way of harmony. So it means that you don't need to be a physically strong person to do it, because I haven't got much upper body strength, so I'm useless at press ups. But by understanding the body mechanics, it means that no matter how big, how tall, small, whatever, that you still make the technique work. So I've always really enjoyed doing Wado-ryu. Hence why I've now moved on from, well, I'm still training, but I teach as well, and I've got my own club. And I decided that I wanted to sort of try and offer something to everybody, because sometimes I find that karate, or the phrase karate, puts people off because it can be quite intimidating. You think, oh, it can be aggressive, I'm going to get hurt, and it's not. There's so many elements to the training, which hence why I created Bonsai Chi, which is a more gentle, flowing, low impact exercise class based on all the moves that I do in Wado-ryu.
Fantastic. So pretty much any ability can take part in Bonsai Chi?
Yes, yeah, it can be done standing or it can be done sitting on a chair. So I had a member join last year that had damaged her ankles in an accident, and so and then over the weeks gradually managed to stand up and then was moving around by the end of it. So yeah, it can be done, say, either standing or sitting, and it's all about listening to your body, not challenging it. So if there's something that you can't do because you've got a physical ailment, we find an alternative. So it's not about trying to push a muscle or a part of the body that isn't going to work for whatever reason.
I really like that. And the other thing is worth noting that you've mentioned there as well, Nikki, is so for some people, there's been a lot of talk on the TV about people being in flats and they haven't got the garden and are not able to get out and do physical exercise because of the lockdown and things that we're in. But actually, from what you've just said, you can do it seated, so you can still do physical activity if you're in a flat or an apartment.
Yes. Yeah, and you don't need a lot of room for, certainly for Bonsai Chi. It's a lot of it is done sort of standing on the spot, so you may turn to the side or come forward just one step. I do kata, which is a set series of moves which can be moved around a bit more, but you can still do that stood on the spot.
That's brilliant. And how have you found lockdown then in relation to being able to deliver your classes?
Well, obviously, when the physical classes stopped, I then started looking at online options. Never done it online before, I have to be honest. I've only been in business just coming up 2 years. So it sort of pushed me down a path that I always sort of had on my list as, oh, it'd be nice to do, but it never quite got there. And so, yeah, I started looking at online platforms and decided to use Zoom, and yes, move them online so that I now hold them via Zoom.
Fantastic. And they're going successfully?
Great. Everyone is enjoying them, which is really good.
Fantastic.
It does seem
It's
to be.
amazing, isn't it, how adaptable people have come to being able to use all this wonderful technology we've got.
Yes, because when you think before March, the word Zoom meant something completely different to everybody.
Very true, very true. I'm sure it's probably changed in the English dictionary as well.
Yeah.
So moving on, and to get serious for a moment, in relation to well-being, What do you think the current challenges and opportunities are there in relation to the whole wellbeing landscape?
I think a lot of it is about availability, because I think a lot of, certainly from my point of view, it's availability of the classes, because people do enjoy coming along to a class, and part of the well-being is about connecting with people. And obviously the benefit of being able to go to a physical class is that you can connect with people, you've got the that sort of shared interest. And it's just having those short conversations with people that even if you feel like you don't quite know what you're doing, there's someone else that's in the same boat, so you know you can have a laugh and a joke with other people. So I think it's that availability for them. Say it creates a general well-being without you actually realizing it. So I think one of the challenges at the moment is how we can still ensure that people get the opportunities to do these things, but it is in a slightly different way. So it's trying to sort of ensure that we can still get all of the benefits of all the well-being options that are there, but say not quite in the same way as we're used to.
Yeah, I think we've got Joe Wicks is obviously the nation's PE teacher now, and I think he sort of led the way, didn't he? But I also attend an online yoga class with a lady called Anna Thompson from Anna Kerno Yoga, and it just has really translated very well to being online.
Yeah, I think that, so the one of the I suppose the I really enjoy doing the online sessions, but I do really enjoy being in a room with people, because say it's having that physical connection and it's being able to have that one-to-one contact with someone, where if somebody isn't perhaps keeping their posture quite straight, I'm able to sort of say, oh, just adjust it, and so yeah, it's just that sort of personal touch that you can have.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great if when we come out of lockdown and we've got sort of the vaccine sorted, that we can do both.
Yes.
Really, sort of in person and online. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, fingers crossed for those positive days in 2021. So how do you maintain positive well-being then, Nikki?
I think I've always been a fairly positive person anyway. I think that's just my nature. But I also think, because I've done training over the years, it is something that, it's one of those things that when you've sort of had a bad day at work and you think, oh, can't be bothered to get off the settee, and the thought of going out. But when you do go out and you do train, you do feel a lot better.
Absolutely.
So and again, I think it is, so it's having the friendships that you build up with your colleagues, that sometimes you just drop messages in the week. So it's little things like that yeah, I think just sort of helps me. And I do enjoy getting out and walking, and so take every opportunity I can to do that.
Yeah, and in relation to karate, I can imagine the core principles around well-being are sort of embedded within the philosophy, if you like, of doing karate and bonsai chi. Would I be right in thinking that?
Yes, yeah, it's all part, yes, of a positive mindset. Because it is challenging. It isn't, I don't say it isn't, it is sort of easy to learn, but yeah, it's having that I suppose tenacious character where you do want to perfect something. So yes, it's having that positive attitude that I haven't got it quite right, but I'm going to get it right next time. So yeah, you just keep pushing yourself.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because you can progress, I guess, every week that you come to your classes, and improve your skills and knowledge around are they classed as sports?
Yes, I think martial arts is. I mean, it's part of the Olympics. Obviously, the Taekwondo martial arts has always been part of the Olympics. Karate was going to be in there this year, which obviously postponed. Yeah, so yes, I suppose yes, it does come under the heading of sports.
So yeah, in future ones, karate will hopefully see it featured then.
Yes, and I think it would be nice for everyone to be able to see a different aspect to it, and understand what it is. I think for those of us that train in it, obviously we sort of we know all the different elements of it, but it's not until I find that, because I've obviously been talking to a lot more people over the last 18 months in business about it. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we do that people say don't always realise is part of our training.
It's great. It's great actually to see the diverse range of sports that are getting included in things like the Olympics now, and they're picking up on these other sort of more niche sports and bringing them more to the forefront, which has got to be a great thing, I think, for people to have that choice.
Yes, it gives them an opportunity, and also to see and say what's involved, because it is daunting. You know, I think one of the hardest things, particularly I find in karate, I've always said one of the hardest things is walking through the door, because you do feel like, well, am I going to be able to do it? Am I going to look daft in front of everyone else? No, you're not, because we're all exactly the same. You know, there's no one better than anyone else. If those of us that have been training, it just means we've been training longer, so we should know a little bit more, but it doesn't make us any better than what anyone else can do. So yeah, it's being having that I suppose, you know, that ability to be able to walk through the door and go, I'm going to give this a go, you know, and I'm going to work on and just see where I can go with it, and if I like it, because not all sports suit everybody. So just because you like one sport doesn't mean to say you like another one, but you know, give it a go, because you may find that it's the one that you love.
I totally agree with you. And it's about investing in your own self-care, isn't it? And just putting some time aside for yourself that week. And yes, you haven't got to be able to start and be fantastic at it, but like you've absolutely said, you progress, don't you? I mean, when I first started cycling, I mean, I was massively overweight, and just cycling around the block was very daunting. But you know, over time I've built that up, and I can imagine it's the same with your sports. But how would you say that karate and bonsai chi help with anxiety and mental health?
It's I always say it's one of those things that when you go training, you have to leave all your problems at the door, because once you walk in and you start training, you can't think about anything else. The moment you start thinking, did I put the bins out? What do I want for shopping tomorrow? Everything falls apart, and you feel like, I don't know which arm or leg I'm moving. And it's happened to all of us. It still happens to me now sometimes when I'm instructing, because I'm thinking of the next thing that I'm doing, and then I forget what it is I'm actually doing myself. So the good thing is you literally have to switch off, because there is, particularly in bonsai, there's like I always say to people for the first class, you'll feel like all I say is left arm, left leg, and which one's moving where, which you'll find out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But it's not to worry about it. It does get easier. But and you'll find that once you've done the first class, the second one's a little bit easier, because you've then got used to the moves as well. So there's a lot of mental stimulus as well within the sessions. And as I say, so you do have to switch off, and it is nice that you can go and you just focus on something else entirely. And as I say, you then get all the benefits that you get from doing physical, you know, all the endorphins, um, and just the general sort of say over well-being, you know, of a feeling of the movement, and getting your blood rushing through your body and all those things. So yeah.
It's great to be able to just clear your mind, isn't it? And just focus on something positive, I think, as well.
Yeah, and it's nice learning new things as well, because when you do it one week and you feel like, oh, you know, that I don't think I'll ever be able to get that working, and then the second week, third week, you start thinking, oh yeah, this is working. I've done that without thinking, and
Yeah.
it's surprising how quickly we can build up habits, and that's all we're doing really. It's no different to like learning to drive. You know, we all drive. Those of us that drive, we all drive now. We don't think about what we're doing. So it's the same thing, but there's always something new to learn. And for me, that's always been the interesting thing, is that you know, I'm learning so much now, same as what I've done for 5 years, because there's always something to perfect or understand. And you know, and also as you sort of get older, your body changes, so you have to adapt things. You know, I'm not quite as flexible as I was 20 years ago, so I can find alternative ways of doing things.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Do you have to wear a certain outfit, or can people, you know, have they got to go and order a whole new karate outfit, or can they wear, what can they wear?
So for karate, I always say for people when they first join, just wear sort of jogging bottoms and t-shirt. If you start earning belts, then you would need to buy what we call a karate suit, a gi. But for bonsai chi, it's just about sort of loose clothing, so jogging bottoms and I always find that just a little bit more comfortable, just allows you to move just that little bit freer. So no, you don't need any special clothing or anything. So there's no sort of huge cost to start training.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. So what are you working on at the moment?
So I'm looking to obviously increase numbers of the existing classes, but also what I'd like to do is be able to move into workplace wellbeing. So, you know, employers that perhaps want to do something for their staff, whether it be weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, you know. So because the sessions that I hold, particularly with Bonsai Cheese, you don't have to necessarily learn or remember all the moves because everything starts from the beginning. So I slowly build it up and then we just keep repeating it. So I tend to have relaxing music on in the class. And yeah, it's just then about just enjoying movement meditation. So then really you can, once you've got used to what the moves are, you can then really just relax your mind. And then that's where you feel the benefits of moving, as I say, to the music and just moving your body and letting your mind to move into, say, sort of workplace. I had started working with care homes, but obviously the situation's changed this year, so it'd be nice at some point if I was able to get back into care homes and be able to, again, because Bonsai Cheese is really well suited for those that are, say, less mobile, but yeah, they used to really enjoy it, which was always nice to see when I walked in every week. They were excited that they were going to be doing their session with me.
Yeah, how lovely, how lovely. And the other thing that I'm thinking of in relation to workplaces is that a lot of people are looking at agile working and offering their staff now the flexibility of sort of being able to work at home and then come into the office. And I think they're freeing up more of their office space for innovative new things like this. So it might be that it's a studio for classes for staff to access. And I think, you know, on the whole theme of well-being, that's got to be better use of space and also better for the people ultimately. Yeah, I think
Yes,
it's
so hopefully it will open up some new opportunities.
absolutely. I know Kathy Scott from Hands On at Work, she goes in and does workplace massages. And I worked in a housing association and she would come in and we'd have workplace wellbeing weeks and she'd come in and do desk massages and things like that. So it's great that these workplaces and offices are now gearing up more around what they can provide their staff in relation to wellbeing. And I think Bonsai Cheese is a great way for people to perhaps sort of relax and release all their anxieties. And yeah, I think it's a fantastic idea. I really do. So what's rewarding for you by holding classes? Why have you got into this?
So I spent 30 years in the printing industry, started off as office junior, worked in various roles over the years and ended up in commercial. And I decided that I wanted a bit of a change, and it always I would be able to do something within karate. But it's always one of those things that it's like, well, I've got a mortgage, you know, blah, blah, blah. At what point am I going to do it? So 2 years ago, I was in the position where I thought, well, I could do it. And so, yeah, I decided to take that leap. And for me, it's really about, say, sharing all the benefits that I think karate offers, because it teaches you so much. It's not just about what you do while you're training. It affects or changes who you are as a person. It teaches you lots of skills. So, you know, respect, discipline, integrity, all those things. And so creating the Bonsai Chi was really a way of encouraging everybody to get all the benefits, because I say it's karate is obviously a very physical element, being that lower, gentler, low impact exercise. It is suitable for everyone. So it's about everyone just being able to feel comfortable and enjoy the benefits of exercise, but also get all those well-being of their posture, their flexibility, their agility. And it's great having people come along to class and just seeing them walk out smiling and feeling happier than when they walked in.
I'm interested to know though, Nikki, how did you get into doing karate?
It was my brother, actually. He came home one day and said that he wanted to do it. So my mum said I had to take him. And I was like, I don't want to go. She said, you're going. So off I went and came back after the first class and said, oh, I loved it. I need a suit, I need a license, and I'll be grading in 3 months.
Fantastic. So how many years have you been doing it in total?
Well, I was 14 when I started. I did stop for a few years because obviously work commitments. It was a little bit difficult. So yeah, it's just over 25 years now I've actually been training.
So there's a lot of experience there then.
Yeah, and there's always something to learn, and for me that's the challenging part of it. You know, you never walk in and think I know it all. You don't. There's always something to learn, and everybody that comes through the door I learn something from. Whether it be a different way that as an instructor that I've got to find an alternative way to explain it, and everyone responds in different ways. So for the explanation that one person would find useful and know what they're doing, another person won't. So it challenges me all the time is to make sure that I can explain things in a way that they understand so that they know what they're doing, and that they get the best out of their training.
Brilliant. Can I pick your brains, because a lot of people know about karate and have heard that term, but Bonsai Chi, where does that originate from? What's the background of that?
So I was obviously trying to determine a name, and everybody knows what Tai Chi is, being a sort of slower style martial arts, but Tai Chi is a martial arts style. And of course, I don't know Tai Chi, I know Wado-ryu. So what I wanted to do was create a name that I suppose demonstrated what it was we were doing. And obviously Bonsai being Japanese, and Chi being energy, I was trying to sort of work out what it was, and that's how I sort of formulated the name.
Brilliant. Yeah. It's a brilliant name, it really is fantastic. So we've covered so much today, but talk to me a bit about in the future, what sort of people would you like to collaborate with around the whole well-being side of things?
I think there are so many practitioners in well-being, and I suppose really it's any of them. So it's any events that perhaps people have got, or people that you mentioned, earlier about doing massage. It's just anything that perhaps we want to offer a whole rounded sort of well-being to people, and also just to give them sometimes perhaps a taste of what is available and what they could do. So it's I had somebody come to a session that I held in Cheltenham, but they actually lived in London, but they enjoyed it so much they were going away and they wanted to go and find a Tai Chi class. So I think it's just any sort of practitioner or event that perhaps it's just about giving the different options that people can find, that it allows them to understand how they can improve their overall well-being, mental and physical, and find something that works for them.
Yeah, brilliant. I know with obviously we have the online offering, and that can pretty much be, you could be attending a class on the other side of the world, but in relation to face-to-face, because I'm based in Worcestershire, where are you based?
I'm based in Tewkesbury.
Oh, okay, so that's fairly close to me then. So in relation to you going to events, do you go all over the UK or do you prefer to stay local?
So far, I suppose fairly local. Living in Tewkesbury, it's quite handy. I get to Cheltenham, I go to Gloucester. I've also held events up to Pont-Seven and Welland, so I'm sort of moving over towards Malvern and Worcester way.
Okay.
So yeah, I think anything sort of within, I suppose, in my local area, but yes, from Gloucester up to Worcester.
So if we've got any sort of wellbeing practitioners that are in those specific areas, then how do they contact you, Nikki? How do they connect with you?
I've got a website, so search for Red Eagle Martial Arts. I'm also on Facebook, so either under Red Eagle Martial Arts or Bonsai Chi. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Google, so yeah, I think I'm across all of the social media platforms. So hopefully they'll be able to find me on one of those, and then they'll be able to, my phone number's on all of them, or email address. So yeah, it'd be great for people to connect and see what we can do.
Fantastic. So first instance, go to www.bonsai. What's
www.redeaglemartialarts.co.uk.
Right, Red Eagle. Remember that, guys. Now, I'm due to come to your class on Tuesday, so I'm really looking forward to that. But can you just tell me what other sort of times do you do online classes? Because I'm coming on a Tuesday afternoon, but what's your timetable?
So at the moment, it's a Tuesday afternoon, 2:30 to 3:15. Or there's a Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock to 3:15, and then Friday morning, 10:15 till 11.
So really good choice, if you like, across the day, so people can fit it in. And especially now, if people are on lockdown or on furlough and want to recognise that they need to do something for their well-being, then perhaps Bonsai Chi is a fantastic place to start.
Yes. Yeah, we always love welcoming new people, and as I say, abilities, and it's really about, as I say, it doesn't matter if you're moving the wrong arm or the leg, as long as you're moving and you're just getting all the benefits of exercise and you're enjoying yourself, because that really is the ultimate aim of doing any exercise.
I totally agree. Well, I'm really looking forward to it, but thank you so much, Nikki, for today's interview. I hope it's inspired some of our listeners to come along to your classes, whether that's face-to-face in Tewkesbury or whether that's online. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks.